Welcome to the 44th session on operating system and Linux. I'm Manibhushan D'Souza, and in today's class we are going to look at pipe and filter related commands in Linux. There are many commands which are being used for pipe and filter related activity, and we will explore them one after the other. So first of all, let's look at what is a pipe. A pipe is nothing but it's a mechanism in which output of the one command is redirected to the another command. So suppose if we have two commands, so I have one command and I want the output of this command to be the input of the other command, then I can use the pipe symbol. So this pipe symbol is available near your enter sign. If you search on your keyboard, the pipe sign will be available. So what happens is, suppose if you have a command like if you have a command ls, the output usually comes on the screen, but using the pipe you can give this command to maybe a grep or maybe any other uh, command for that matter. So output of one command is used as the input for the other. So we say that the output is flowing, so it is piped from one command to the other. That's why we call it as the pipe. Okay, so for example, if you notice over here, we have ls command over here. The output of this ls command is being used as a input to the more command. So this is how we can use it. Again, if you have one other command over here, who command, so the output of this who command is used as an input for the wc command. So this way you can use the command. Now let's look at one other thing that we have to learn about, and that is the redirection. Now normally whenever we are using Linux, we assume the Linux assumes that the keyboard is the standard input, and the value that is associated with the standard input is 0. Okay? So it always assumes that the input will come by default from the keyboard, and in the same way the output, it assumes that it's going to go to the terminal. And whenever there is an error, like if the syntax is not proper or any kind of error, the error is also directed to the terminal, but its value is 2. So we have the input as 0, the output as 1, and the error, that is standard error, as the value 2. We don't need to bother much about it unless and otherwise we wanted to change that thing. Suppose if you don't want the input to come from the keyboard, suppose you want the input to come from something else, then you need to redirect your input from the different. For example, I want the input to come from a file. In that case, I have to redirect the standard input from the file. In the same way, if I don't want the output to go to the monitor, or that is a terminal, I have to redirect it so that it goes to something else. And this technique of changing the standard input devices is called as redirection. So that process is called as a redirection. We are using some standard symbols for redirecting. So the symbol for redirecting the input is less than. So it means the input is going to come from something into the command that you are typing. So if you have a command like cat, the input to this is going to come from this file. So that's the meaning of it. So input to the cat command is going to come from the file. So file is going to give the input. This is called as a redirection. Generally, you know very well, cat assumes that the file will come, the input will come from something, but here we are changing. You're telling the cat that the input will come from something else. In the same way, we can have a redirection for output. So greater than symbol indicates it is a output redirection. What is the meaning of that is the output of this command will not come onto the screen, but it is redirected to something else. So in this case, output of ls command, you know very well, whenever you type ls you are going to see something on the screen, but this time it will not come on the screen. Instead it's going to go to a file. So that is called as a redirection. Remember, instead of this symbol we can also use the pipe, which also does the same thing. It also redirects the output of one command to something else. Now the other one is redirecting the error message. Now we know that error has the standard code is 2. So you have to write 2 and greater than to redirect the error somewhere else. For example, generally whenever, suppose if this file is not there, when you execute the command, if this file is not there, you will get an error message that file does not exist. Now if you don't want that to come on the terminal, and if you want that information to be stored on a file, so what you can do is, remember this is not the general output. So general output, you know very well, when you type the cat, whatever the content which is there in that file will be displayed. But I don't want that thing to be saved. Instead, if there is an error, I don't want that error to be shown on the screen. Rather, I want that error to be saved onto a file called as error and so on. So you redirect the standard error into the file. So this is called as redirection. Now let's look at the filters. So this is what we are supposed to learn in this class. So what are filters? So you know very well, when you make coffee or you filter it out. So you filter something else. So you don't want that dust to fall into your cup. So you filter out. So that's the same idea. So something, the output of some command is going to come. Generally it's going to come there. So what you do here is you use some other command which will do some processing, and it will filter, it will remove some components, some things from here, and it will send the output in the format you wanted. So instead of getting the output directly, you pass it through a filter. So how you filter it? So if you are if you studied it in chemistry and other, so they use a funnel like thing for filtering. I hope you've done some, at least you've seen this kind of funnel, wherein you put something and the dust will all stay here and something is going to come. So this is the general idea. Same thing, what the filter will do is they will accept the input from the standard input or files. They will do some manipulation on it so that not everything is passed by a filter, and depending upon what type of filter you have used, you can see the output. So you know when you were there in a very small childhood, you might have taken the color transparent sheets, color sheets, and if you look at take a red color transparent sheet, and if you look from there, everything will look red. So that particular red sheet that you are using to look into that, that acts as a filter. It filters out something. In the same way, here also these commands are used for filtering out. So let's look at the first command, and the first command that we are going to look at today is the sort command. Now this is used to sort the content. You are already written some programs to sort the numbers using bubble sort and so on and so forth. So this command is used for sorting the content of the file. The general syntax for it is sort followed by a lot of options are available and the file name. So this is how the command is going to be used. So you have a lot of options over here. Again, because of the time restriction, I may not explain all of them, but you can try them during the lab hours. So let's go straight to the Linux. What I have here is, as usual, you have a folder called as BSC. Inside this BSC folder, actually I have STD, one other folder, and I have opened that folder. There are a lot of files are there here, and I have started my command prompt, and I am there at the same level, BSC STD, and I am there at BSC STD. I'm there at the same place. So if I use ls command, I can get all of them, like the employee long file and so on and so forth. Everything is there. So let's use the sort command on the student. So let me first display the content of student. To very well, to display the content, use the cat command, and I'm going to display the content, and you notice that this is the content, okay, of that file. If you want, I will open it. If you are not happy with the black and white world, so let me show it in the colorful world. So this is what I have. So this is the same content I have, then it should be and so on and so forth. I have this content, that's the same content that is being shown there. Now I'm going to use the sort command without anything. Sort, the file name that I'm going to use is student, and press enter. And what you notice over here is a very important thing. And what is that important thing is you notice that this is not sorted, and this is sorted. So A, B, and maybe a repetition is there, C, D. So it is sorted. If you want, let's go and let me clear it. I click and clear it, okay. And let me use the sort command again, but not the clear command, the sort command, but with the minus R. Minus R is to reverse, so it's going to reverse it. So you notice that A is here, so A is here, A, then you have B, then you have C, D in the reverse order, that is descending order. So you can use that one. You can have, let's look at the other things over here. You can also use minus U if at all you want to remove the duplicate lines. So let's try that. So I'm going to go here. I'm not getting my mouse pointer, just a minute. Okay, there I have my mouse pointer. Now, okay, so I'm going to use minus U here. So let's look at that minus U, and you notice that in the previous case, whatever the sorting it may be, Bhaskar was repeated 2 times, and you notice here that only 1 is there. So duplicate lines are removed from the. So this is how the sorting works. So let's look at a few of the example over here. Now let's look at the next one, that is minus n. So what is this minus n? What is the use of it? Now generally whenever you try to sort the content, for this I will use the other file. So let's look at this register numbers. Let's look at this file. Now if you look at this particular file over here, now if I sort, what I expect is 632 to come first, but it's going to sort using the ASCII. So in the ASCII, if you just look at, if you concentrate on, let me still zoom a bit for you. So if you concentrate only on this part, first column, ASCII value of 1, ASCII value of 2, ASCII value of 1, ASCII value of 6, ASCII value of 2. It's going to take in that order. So which one will come first? First 1 will come, okay, then 2 will come, then 6 will come. But you notice the number, if you take the whole number as such, if you take the number as a whole, this number is the smallest one. But because the sorting is performed on the ASCII character, you will get a wrong result. So let me do that thing and let me show it. So let's go here, clear, and let me first cat that one, so that you get know the register number dot text, and let me sort this one without anything. So I'm going to say register number dot text. You notice that 632 came last. So why it is 632? It's going to look at this part, first one. ASCII value of 1 is smaller, so it takes that, okay, and then ASCII value 2 it takes, then 6, but it is a 632. I don't want it to be treated as character, I want it to be treated as a number. So how can I do that? For that, what I need to do here is I need to sort and tell the sort that use a numerical sorting, that is minus n. So when I do minus n, you notice that 632 came first. Okay, so this is the use of that minus n. So let's go back to our example there. I will not show all the example because it will take more than 1 hour for the entire video. So let's look at the few of them. So here you have the cat command and sort in the ascending and the sort in the descending order. You can also merge the output of a two sorted command into one file. So it is by using minus m, you can merge them. So you know how to concatenate. You just specify two file names like the one that is being shown here. Two file names, output of two file names are merged together using m. Okay, minus m. I will not try that thing. Minus u, you know very well, removes the duplicate line, and minus n is used for arranging in numerical values. Now we can also use check whether the file is sorted or not. Okay, so if the file is already sorted, nothing will happen, output will not come. But if the file is not sorted, it's going to say where that file is not sorted. So this is how it's going to go. Now generally, if you look at the list that I've shown over here, generally we assume that the list is separated by spaces or tab, but it need not be true. So if you look at this particular file over here, I have one more file over here, and this is the general format that you will always see. This is called as comma separated CSV files. So the word that they are using for this kind of files are CSV. Okay, comma separated values. So here what happens is we say it as a delimiter, okay, or a separating character. Separating character is not space, it is something else. Instead of this, some people use pipe as the separator. So it depends, okay, in a different scenario different symbols may be used, or some people may use dash as a separator. So you can specify the sort, that what type of sorting, what type of delimiter character is being used, and the way in which you do that is you use the minus t for doing that. I don't have that option over here. You can notice in this particular slide, if I go back I can show you. So you notice over here, if the character is different, you can specify minus t to specify which is the delimiter that is being used. Okay, so let's look at that one over here. So now let's go to my sort command here. Let's go to my command prompt. I will clear it so that you can see it right from the top. So let's look at the student file. So let's look at that cat, and I'm going to say student. So this is a file. What if I want to sort it using in this order, in along this? So can I sort this? So in order to do that, so I'm going to say not this cat, I'm going to say sort t is required plus 1. Okay, and then I'm going to say student. Sorry, student is missing. Okay, student. Now what you notice over here is BA, then BCom, then BS, BC, dictionary order, BS, 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 BS. Okay, so I can specify. So what is the meaning of saying plus 1 means after the first column. What is the first column? This is the first column. Sort after the first column. What if I say plus 2? It is after the second column. So I can specify that. So I can specify plus 2 after the second column. You notice that A, this is already there. I think it is already. So this is A. HEP was here. If you notice here, HEP was here. It came to this one. So it is sorted. So you can specify which column you want to sort. How you are doing it in Excel, the same way you can try here also. Now let's look at the comma separated values. So let me first clear the screen here. and let me cat, and let me say, what was the name that I gave? Just forget the std comma. Okay, that name I gave, std comma. So that's a file. Now what if I want to sort now using the field? Now I'm going to just sort it. Okay, sort std comma, and it's going to sort in the first field. Remember, there is now you don't have space, every value is separated by comma. Now what if I want to sort in this order, second one? How do I say that? Now you know very well, to sort you have to say +1, that means after the first column, but I have to say that my delimiter now is comma. You can use okay, so you notice now BA, BCom, BSc, BSc, BSc. Hope you get that thing. So I can always use -t for doing that thing. So you can also use a minus you know the meaning of saying plus means you go up to after that. Okay, if you say +1 means after 1 you start it, minus means stop after that. So start from 2, stop at 4, like that. So if you just specify, like for example, if you just specify +2 -3, what's the meaning? Start after 2, end after 3. So in other words, sort the third column. Understood? So this is how you can do that thing. If you want to sort the individual characters, you can use plus dot for sorting it. Okay, for example, I think in my example it may be a bit difficult for me to show because it is just the numbers, but let me, because that's, all of them are B. Okay, so it may be a bit difficult to show, but let's clear it and then try to do that thing. Now suppose if I say 1.2, what is the meaning of saying 1.2 is, so you know that let me use the other file. I will not use comma because you can't see that. So let me use which one? Student. I think student dot. So what's the meaning of saying 1.2? You know, +1 means you know that it is after the first column, so that you are all familiar. So +1 means after this column you start. So start from here. So what is dot 2 means? Don't take the whole thing. This is the whole thing. Don't take that whole thing. Just take the 2 characters for sorting. So that is the meaning of it. So within that take 2. So how do you say 0.2? 0.3 means take 3 characters. So you can even specify that there. So you can specify like position plus dot. So number of characters. Within that, how many columns you really want to do it. I'm going to skip the examples, kindly excuse me, because of this is a theory session, so I don't want you to do that thing. We will try it during the lab, how to go about it. Now let's look at the other type of command, and the other command that we are going to see is the grep command. Okay, don't worry about it. During the lab we are going to see them individually. We are going to execute many other sort related options, but as of now I will just restrict myself, because otherwise I'll be for 1 hour I'll be just explaining you about the sort, and the other things I may have to skip. So I don't want to do that. I will give importance to all the commands. So let's look at the grep command. So grep stands for global search for regular expression. So it is used to search something. Now you have this find in Windows, in Word you have this find. So that the same idea, if you want to find something into the file, how do you do it? So you have this grep. So the general format is grep followed by some option. You can use the regular pattern. We will see that regular pattern, and then the file name. So again the options could be ignore the spaces, ignore the cases, display the files. Generally it displays the files that are matching. You can also say that display the files which are not matching. okay, and you can say how many times it has occurred, and you can say in which line it has occurred. For example, if you say grep cs star dot employee dot data means you want to find all the lines in which there is something that starts with the cs. After that it could be anything, cs dash anything. Okay, so how do you search for that? So let's look at that. So first let's go to our student. Okay, I want to search for, so let's go here, let me clear the clutter here. Okay, clear the clutter, and I'm going to say grep, that's a command, grep for bsc from students.txt. You notice that only one bsc is there. I'm going to show it here so that you will also be surprised to see that only Akshata it has shown. You notice Akshata is there in BSA, but you notice that Bhaskar is also there in BSA, and in fact Bhaskar has repeated 2 times, but it has not taken it. What is, I think he's a student. Okay, so what is the reason? Reason is this yes and C. If you notice, the yes is capital but C is small case. So I have searched for small case C. That's why only Akshata is matching. What if I want to match all of them? So what I can say is dash minus I, ignore the cases and press enter. You will notice that all of them have come. Even if it is in capitals, it has taken that thing. So minus I to ignore the case. Okay, if you don't want, so this command is show me all the students who are studying in BSc. Now the other things that somebody can ask you is show me all the students who are except the BSc student, show me the list of all of them. How do I do that thing? So I'm going to say minus V to do that thing. So what is minus V is the reverse. So except the BSc students, show me all the other students. So you have Dhanush and Chaitra who are not studying in the BSc. So I'm using minus V, that is except for that. Okay. So you can always use that. Okay. You can also use the line number to say that how many lines has to be shown. So minus 1 means one line above and one line below. The match has to be shown. Okay, you can use regular expression. Now regular expressions are same as a file character matching, that is meta characters. So star means match 0 or more character. So what is the meaning of this one is if you say CO, so let's say CO star means what are the things it's going to match. It may match a computer, COMPUTER. It may match commerce. Okay. It may match come. Okay. And many other things. Okay, I don't get all the words. So after com, any character, 0 or more character. So com is required. Com is required. After that, either one character can come, 0 character can come, more than one character, 10 character can, any number of characters can come. So that is the meaning of saying star. The dot means only one replacement will be there. Okay. So for example, if you write like this, where is the thing? Okay, if you write like B dot D, so what are the option you get? PED, BAD, okay. What else you can say? BID, okay, you can get that. Okay, you can get that. So one character replacement. Okay, so this is one character. Then you can give the range from this to that. Okay, so you can say from A to B the character must be there. So within that ASCII range, from C to D, any characters, or you can say or except them. Except means you put the uh, symbol, character symbol, and then use that. So match the single, match not ABCD. This means match except ABCD, anything can come. If you put this right at the beginning, remember it has to be put in the square bracket. If you put the symbol, that is caret symbol, right at the beginning, that means this has to be matched right at the beginning of the line. We put the dollar, this has to be matched at the end of the line. So this is how you can use. So for example, Comstar you can match. So let's try to do that thing. So I want to find, so grep, I want to find, so not BSc, this reverse and others I don't want to. I want to find BA, anything that starts with the BA star. So what are the things I will get? So look at BA Bhaskar, BA star, okay, I get that thing. Then what you have, B, where is that? A did came, BA, it came all, it matched all of, how did it matched all of them? So it should have been matching only those two things, BA and BA. It matched even B. Okay, anything that is coming there, you can match. So it actually matched B, directly B followed by that. Okay, if you want, you can have the range like BA, and then you can say from D to E. I'm just giving you, I don't know whether such a match will come or not, so you may not get anything. So between, after this BD can come, BE can come, not anything else. So B, D to J means suppose if I just say, okay, that's not this one. If I say D to K means anything, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, any letter can come there. So that's a range I am giving. Okay, you can give the range to do that thing. Again, we'll look at them in the real lab. As of now, I will not venture too much into that. Let's look at the next command, and that command is the more command. So sometime what happens is, for example, if you run a ls command or any other command, the file or the content will go beyond the screen. So let's look at the example here. Now if you look at there is a file. So if you look at this one, where is this, a long file? I open it in the long file because you know very well, in your GUI you have this scroll bar which you can scroll up and down. Okay, now here also you can scroll. You will definitely after working you will say that's sorry, here also it is there, but think about the olden days where that thing was not there. Now things are there, so you will say that you can also scroll here, but I'm not talking about that. So just let me clear the clutter here. So I'm going to use cat and then long file. Now in olden days what it used to do is this file used to go directly. Now I can scroll definitely because it is there in the window. Okay, it is there in the window, but just imagine if this thing is only there on the screen. Okay, the entire the real terminal, then it is not possible. You can't do like this on the terminal. There is no scroll bar that will take you back to the previous screen. So the olden days people had a problem. If the contents are beyond the screen, it will simply go above the screen and you will not be able to see the content. So what they are supposed to do is they have to pause for one screen, then go to the next screen. So to achieve that thing, they used a command called as more. So what I do here is, let me clear the screen again. So I use this command, okay, and then I pipe it to a command called as more. So what it's going to do is, unlike the previous case, it's going to show one full screen of content and it's going to show you more. You can use F or space bar to go to the next screen. So you can read it, press again, read it, next screen. So this is how they used to get one screen full content onto the screen, and that's the use of a more command. So more is used to display the content on one screen. Okay, if it is a very long thing, so the command is used to display the output on a page by page way, so that you can see the output neatly. So if at all you want to read it, you can go one page, next page, next page. So you can use more followed by, like if there is a ls command, and you know very well, if there are too many files are there, ls simply will take you out. So you can use ls and more to go one line at a time. You can use the similar to more, there is other command called as less. It also does the same thing, but it is slightly more powerful than that. Let's look at the next command, and the next command is the cut command. So cut command is used to cut the or slice the content of the file column wise. So there are many options are available even for the cut. So you can say C or F based on whether you want to cut based on the column, that is character cuts, or based on the field. If you have the field, you can cut by the field. So let's try that thing. So doing is believing. Again, you're going to do it, don't worry about it. Now how do you come out of this more? Press Q, it's going to come out of it. Okay, and we'll do this in the lab, don't worry. So this is just a general idea how the things are going to appear. So let's look at the cut command. So let me first look at this cat, and let me first show you the students that I have. Now what if I want to cut the first column? So I'm going to say cut, okay, minus F1, and what was the name that I have? Students. Okay, minus 1 F minus or plus, let's okay, yeah, there is no minus plus thing. So I got confused there, sorry about that. Okay, there is no minus plus, so don't worry. So F1, F1, I think that minus was there. Okay, so it's not. The reason is it's not able to recognize that space separation. So what space separation I gave, it's not able to recognize it. What I'm going to do is, so this problem is it's not able to recognize that this is one field, this is one field, this is one field. So what I'm going to do is for this one, let me clear it, and let me ls it. I had that problem. So I'm going to do here is I have this comma separated files over here. I think there was employee. Let me just check that employee. For the same reason I had, okay, I have this employee. Okay, so what I am going to do is let me first cat this employee, and this is how you have. So there is one space separation is there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is cut. Now you notice that it's not able to do anything. So F1 employee, okay, you'll not be able to see anything. So what I'm going to do now is, so I'm going to say minus D, this is for delimiter, and I'm going to say there is a space delimiter. So there is a space in between, so between one field. So in other words, what I'm saying is between one field there is a space. Between one field there is a space, that's called as a delimiter. Between one field there is a space, so that it's able to get that thing. So let me go back and press enter, and now you notice that the first field is cut out. Okay, you may ask, sir, last time why didn't it give? It's not able to recognize that there is one space separation. So sometime you have to tell it that there is a space separation. So here you notice that, oops, not this one, sorry. Okay, it is able to notice that you will be able to notice that one field is cut. What if you want to cut more? So let's go here. So if you want to cut the second field, what you are supposed to do, F2, and you cut the second field. So this is how you can cut the content one after the other. So let's go ahead and let's look at it. So you can cut them as you want. You can also cut the depending upon the different columns. So for example, I can also say that, let me go over here, I can also say that I want the second column, and I don't know whether I have the fourth column. Let's say I have it, presume that I have it, press enter. Okay, F4, there is no space. Okay, fourth column. Okay, there was some fourth column which it took it. So let me, if you really want to know what is that thing, so let me cat and let me say what was that employee. So employee, I'm going to show you what it did, 2 and 4. Let's look at that 2 and 4 now. So this is the second column, that's what you are seeing here, and this is third, and this is the fourth column, that's what you are seeing here. So it has cut 2 and 4. You can also give a range there. So how do I give the range? I can also say, go here and I can also say not the cat, I can also say 2 to 4. So what's the meaning of this? 2 to 4 means from second column to the fourth column. You notice here, this is the second column, this is the third column, this is the fourth column, and all of them have appeared here. So this is how you can cut them together. Okay, you can store the cut file in after cutting, you may say what you are going to do. You can redirect it and store it. Okay, I want the names of all my students. What I can do, cut them and redirect it, greater than symbol, and redirect it and then store it in a particular file. So this is how you can use it. So I've already shown you the delimiter. Again, you can cut based on the number of characters. So let's try that thing before we close that. So let's clear it. Let's say cut the character wise. So cut character 2 to 4. Okay, so this is how you can cut. So you can cut, I think that didn't work. It's recording. Okay, so this is how you can cut the character. Once you cut the character, you can paste it. So that's the next thing that you can do. You can cut them. We will see them in the lab. Don't worry. You may say that you're going too fast, sir. I'm going to go and do that thing. Okay, so you can cut them and then paste it. To paste it, what you are going to do is use the command paste. The command that you have cut it, you can combine them together to paste it. So I'm going to just give you a simple demo and then wind up. So let's go over here with the cut option. Let's go with the, let me go here with the cut option, and I'm going to use -ef here to cut the second column. So you notice, and that's the second column. I'm going to say column2 dot txt. Okay, so it's there, and I'm going to cut the fourth column. I don't know what is there in the fourth column, so I'm going to cut the fourth column, and I'm going to say this is C4. Okay, so 4 are been cut down, so I can cut the second column and fourth column. Let me just cat them for you. I think instead of cat, I can use I can go here and do that. So this is the second column, okay, C2 file, and the next one is C4, and that is this one, okay, 2. I can paste them together. So how do I paste them? Let me clear everything. How do I paste it? I just say paste c2.txt, that's the first file, and then c4.txt, that's the next file, and you notice that they are pasted together. So after cutting, you can paste them together to make a single file. So this is how you can do that thing. So you can cut them and then paste them together. Okay, let's look at the next command, and that is the tr command. Tr command is used to translate the content of one thing to the other thing. So for example, if you want to convert all the small case into capital, so you can use a tr command. So how do I go about doing that? So to do that, what I have is, let me take that C2 command. So I'm going to say Okay, so let me first explain the syntax for you. You have to specify the character which you want to replace and the from where you are going to get the content. Okay, so let's do that thing. I will first use the cat command for c2.txt. Okay, I got that cat command. Okay, and then I got that cat command, and now I'm going to go and I'm going to translate it. So I'm going to pipe it, and I'm going to say tr, and then I'm going to say all the small case which are there, A to Z, all the small case A to Z has to be converted. This is going to create an error, don't worry, into the uppercase. This is what I wanted to do that. So all this Z must be in capital. So all the small case character has to be converted into the uppercase character. Now if I try it, I will get it like this. So all the small case characters are converted into uppercase character. Okay, so you are translating based on the input to the output pattern. Okay, so you can also say that all the, for example, you can say all the A must be changed to say Q. All the A must be changed to Q. What is going to happen? Wherever there is A, Dhanush A was there. Here Dhanush A, small a, remember this I have already translated. You are just translating and showing it on the screen. The original file will not affect, it will not get affected. So Dhanush A was there, A got changed to Q. Again A got changed to Q. Okay, you can do that thing. When you say small case a, the capitals will not change. If it is already capital, it will not change. Now let me clear this one. Now look at what I'm going to do. Just the last demo that I'm going to give you. Now what I'm going to say is from all the A to Z has to be mapped. If it is A, instead of A, I want the C to come there. Instead of B, D to come. So you just switch them instead of A. So look at what I am doing. So let me go over here, and instead of A, you switch to C. So instead of B, you show D. Instead of C, you show E. So shift by. So in other words, shift by 2. So shift by 2, remember, so it goes up to Z. Where is this command? Okay, not this command, sorry. Okay, so it goes up to Z. After Z, again you have to put the command, then you still have A to C. So A to D. So C is already there. Okay, so you press enter, you see this garbage. So what happened is every A is shifted to C. Dhanush, you know that this DHA. So let me show you the original file if it is there. So let me, if I get that original file. Okay, show this original file. If you look at this, A is shifted to C. Okay, A is shifted to C. So what will happen? H, what will be the Hij? So it's going to be shifted to J. Now if you look at this one, you will not be able to get the head and tail. So this is called as scripting. You have crypted the content into non-readable characters. So if somebody looks at this, they will not be able to figure out that it is the names of the student. But you know that they are the names of the student. Why? Because the letters have been changed. So I'm going to just use the same thing, and I'm going to store it in a file called as script.txt. Okay, so it is stored in the script.txt. This is how do I get it back now? How to get it back? So what did I do? So I am going to use the same command. Okay, use translate. Now what I have to do, write the exactly opposite. From what did you do? From the C to, not X, C to Z, and what was that? A to B have to be mapped. Where it have to be mapped? A to Z. Remember exactly opposite what I have written last time. So will I be able to get them back? So I'm able to get them back. Look at the idea. Look at the, I'm going to just show you this command there. Where is that cat crypt? You notice that if I give this text to you, you will not be able to get the head and tail. But if I know how to decrypt back, I'm able to get the original name back. So this is how you can hide it from the others. So others may not be able to find out that this is the actual name, but you have hidden them, so they will not be able to get them. So this is how the translate can be used. We will be using translate in one of our exercises when we want to find the vowels in the given uh, file. We'll see that later. So this is how the commands can be used. I think that is the TR. You can use that. So that's all for today. I will not take too much of time so that we'll finish up within the time. So if you are interested in learning more about it, please refer the Linux practical approach by Mohammad Ibrahim. Thank you for your interest.